welcome to Faith on Film. You know, a few months ago, I got to interview a young man that, well, his mom had told him, you either get your life together, go to church, and start participating in one of the ministries at church, or you're going to have to leave. Well, he did do that, and that got him into filmmaking. Well, guess what? On today's show, we have the mother. So this is actually very exciting. Let me introduce her here. Cindy was born in Glendale, Arizona, the daughter of an Air Force pilot and housewife. Raised at the age of a sitcom television, Cindy wanted to be an actor from the time she was 6 years old. She went on to study drama in high school and college and subsequently studied acting in L.A. Over the years, Cindy's love for the arts expanded into writing, directing, and producing. She now works full-time as a writer, director, and owner-CEO of Actors Reel to Reel, a wholly owned subsidiary of JCL Productions. She's also an award-winning director and producer for JCL's 3 feature films and over 30 short films. Cindy will be graduating from Regent University in the spring of 2020 with an MFA in film and television with a concentration in script writing. Cindy,
Yes.
welcome to Faith on Film. How are you?
Thank you. I'm fine. How about you, Isaac?
I'm doing fantastic. Very excited to have you because I want to know more about what Jared was like back in his early days. But really, we want to know about you today. So you say you wanted to be an actor since you were 6 years old. Take us through a little bit through that journey of how you did get started in acting.
Well, I was being a child in the 60s. It was very, very different, of course, from now. And the way media was, the way television was, there were basically 3 networks on television
Right.
at the time. And it grew into more as time went on, but basically there were 3. And one of my favorite shows during that time was the Carol Burnett show.
Oh,
I loved Carol Burnett,
yes.
and I wanted to be Carol Burnett. So my mom had this really big mirror in her bedroom, and I used to pretend I was on a television show, basically.
Oh
So
my goodness.
I just love film. I love television. I mean, we hardly ever went to the movies when we were younger because there weren't that many movie houses around in our neighborhood. So a lot of it was through television, and I just loved, all of the shows coming up, the Mod Squad. I used to sit for hours a day watching television. I just loved it.
So at some point, then it says here that you moved to L.A. Uh, was that to
Yes.
pursue your acting career? I'm assuming.
Well, no, not
No.
exactly.
Oh.
Jared's father, when we were married, he
Hmm.
was in the military. And so we actually, by chance, got stationed there. And at that time, I was a lot younger and a lot more fearful. You know, when you're young, you tend to be a little bit more. Well, with me, I wouldn't say everybody. I was a little bit more hesitant because I had a 2-year-old son, and I had to make a decision at that point whether to pursue acting or just to provide for Jared in a pretty stable environment because I was working 5 days a
Oh.
week and then I had acting classes on Saturday and that was all day. So I didn't see him very much. So I just made the decision to
Hmm.
say, hey, you know what? I'm just going to go on and work my regular job. And this whole acting thing, I have to put aside for a little bit, at least
Oh
for now,
wow.
because I have a 2-year-old son and I want to be there for him.
Sure.
So that's pretty much what I did.
So did you ever actually then get into acting, or did you never really uh, get into acting and instead went right into writing?
Well, I did get
So
into acting. I was
okay.
really into it in high school. I was into theater and musical theater
All right.
in high school and then theater in college. I was doing, my acting classes on the weekends when we were when we were in LA. So I really didn't. I venture out that far. I think my confidence back then wasn't where I thought. I knew I had a gift, but it wasn't honed, it wasn't
Hmm.
sharpened. And so I kind of forgot about it. But then about 15 years later in my church, I started serving and then it naturally gravitated to the arts. So
Okay.
that's how God kind of rerouted my life again to take me back where I was supposed to be, where he gifted me. And it was amazing. It was an amazing journey.
So were you a Christian even through your early childhood?
No,
Okay, so
our
that came
family
later.
was not Christian. It was I don't want to say the opposite, but there was a lot of dysfunction. I didn't know my
Okay.
mom actually had a picture of Jesus in our living room, and I
Hmm.
had no idea who he was. And I think I just wasn't in tune with church. I mean, we went Christmas. No, I'm sorry, we went Easter, and that was about it.
Wow.
So that was my experience in church. And I guess I got into my 20s and I all of a sudden decided that there was no God, that I was an agnostic and I
Oh
didn't
my.
believe in God. So I kind of went my own way spiritually. And then I got into New Age for a little bit. For about 3 or 4 years, I got heavily into that. And I think back then I was searching, but I
Right.
wasn't, I was searching for something I knew was out there,
Hmm.
some creative force in the universe, but I wasn't sure what I was looking for. And then when I found it, I knew. When I found or Jesus found me, I just knew my life began to seriously change. And it's nothing that you have to work so hard at.
Right.
God's grace is so good, and his love and his mercy is new every
Yeah.
morning. And I used to test God a lot. I was a hothead. I would yell at God. I would throw my Bible. I mean, I was
Uh-huh.
a hothead. I was very emotional. And all I could feel, to be honest, Isaac, was his love. All I
Wow.
could feel was his love. We think we can do so many horrible things that makes God stop loving us, but
Yeah.
never.
Nothing.
He is love.
Yeah.
He is incapable of not loving. So
Yeah.
he is love, therefore he loves.
Oh, so that's where Jared got his whatever it was that caused for you to
Rebellious
say her
side.
rebellious side. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to take a break right now, and we'll come back and talk a little bit about Jared, or at least
Awesome.
how you guys.
Yes.
I think the most interesting thing here is how you guys work together, and I found that
Yes.
from the minute I met you guys, I just found that completely amazing. So we're going to get into that a little bit on our next segment. All right, folks, don't go away. We'll be right back.
Sunflowers. To pollinate and reproduce, they turn and face the sun, nature's way of reminding us that for ultimate growth, we must seek the light. Parables, the leader in empowering entertainment. Parables. Be empowered. Start your free trial today.
I wonder if penguins have knees. I wonder how many colors we can't see. I wonder why there's so many stars in the universe. I wonder if we ever looked like apes.
You want to find out?
I wonder if puppies have belly buttons.
Welcome back to Faith on Film. We are here today with Jared's mom. I don't know if you remember Jared when I had him on the program several months ago, but here's his mom, Cindy. So, Cindy,
Hi.
now we've learned that, of course, he might have picked up that little rebellious spirit from you, but we won't get into that.
Yes.
What I want to know is, what did you tell him that caused him to feel like, you know what, I better get my life together and go to church, other than threaten
Well,
him to get him to make him get out of the house?
Yeah, Jared was always sort of a loner. He was an introvert, and I believe he got that from me because I'm also an
Mm-hmm.
introvert, and he didn't feel like he fit into the church scene, the youth group and all of
Right.
that. So he kind of stayed away. I actually taught Sunday school for the youth for a while, and he was in the school in the class, but he never really said too much. He was always sitting
Yeah.
in the back, and I knew he didn't really want to be there. And I prayed for Jared. I did everything a parent's supposed to do,
Right.
you would think spiritually, and he just distanced himself to me even more. But
Mm.
then something just broke in his life, and he just was like, okay, mom, I'm ready to come back. I'm ready to come back to the Lord.
Wow.
And, he did it on his own. It wasn't like I led him to the Lord. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted that to be a decision that he made for Christ, and he really did. And that's when God began to open doors and show his gift. Because back then he used to be crazy over skateboarding. He wanted to be a rapper at one
Oh,
point.
okay.
He wanted to be a skateboarder. Nothing was a 9 to 5 job. Nothing in accounting, because I'm an accounting by I'm an accountant by
Okay.
by skill, by trade. But he didn't want anything to do with a 9 to 5. It was all these different things like anything to do with
Yeah.
entertainment. I would
He's
say
too
he
creative
was
for a
there.
9 to 5. He is just
Yeah,
way
he
too
he was
creative.
not for that.
No.
So I was beginning to get very, very concerned because Jared didn't really have any direction. So I was at the point and I said, well, you're going to have to do something with your life. You're going to have to make it count. And you're a grown man now. You're responsible. You're 18, so it's time for you to make up your mind. And it
Wow.
took a little bit of time with him. He had to search it out. Jared, not everybody is made to go to college. Not everybody is
I
college
agree.
material. And I knew that about Jared. Not
Mm-hmm.
everybody learns the same way. I mean, there's classroom learning where you're sitting with other people and then you're getting
Yep.
lectured, but not everybody learns that way. And Jared was a visual learner. So what he began to do, we had joined the video ministry together under
Okay.
Dave Olson at the church. And we began to learn together about different things about
Wow.
shooting and lighting and all that.
Wow.
So I was in the media ministry for about a minute, and Jared was in for years, and he really,
Hmm.
really enjoyed it. And that's when his attention began to turn towards
Yeah.
film. So I was doing the Easter plays at the church. We were doing like these really big passion plays with music and all of that. And one day I just felt like God was saying, I want you to write a script. And at first I was thinking it was going to be a play. It was
Mm-hmm.
called The Basement. But then I just bought the final draft, the software, which I knew nothing about, and just started writing. And then Jared, he really took me serious. I don't know how serious I was, but he took me seriously. So he started buying all this film equipment. He bought cameras and
Wow.
lighting and microphones and started stocking it up in the room. And I came in one day and I said, well, what are you doing? He said, well, we're making a movie, aren't we? And I'm like, well, I just got out of the Easter play. I'm tired. I don't want to do this. And he's like, oh, come on, Mom. You said it. I said, well, let me pray. Let me, really
Mm-hmm.
ask God. God gave me a date. 7/14/12. July 14th, 2012 was supposed to be our first shooting day, and it was.
Wow.
And then it just took off from there. And Jared, when he was 15, he was doing skate videos, and he didn't even realize back then with that old little Canon camera, the kind
Mm-hmm.
that you hold like
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
he was doing videos then. So I believe that God, in his wonderful wisdom and love and grace,
Yeah.
put our gifts together, because my gifts are so different from his. Mine is more the writing side, although
Mm-hmm.
Jared is a great, great writer. I have to admit, Jared is wonderful at script writing. I do the directing side of it. Jared does all the technical, the production, the shooting, the DP, the lighting. He's a gaffer. He's a sound person. He's a sound engineer. He does all post-production. He does all the editing, everything. I mean, basically everything. And he did that, a one-person show for 3 feature films. I mean,
Wow.
2-hour films, at least 2 hours.
Right.
And he did all of that on that. And he went online. He actually went on YouTube and learned filmmaking from Film Riot, I believe it was. And he went on there and he ate it up like it was, the best thing in the world. And now he just breathes film. That's all I can say. He was meant to do. Do you ever meet somebody that's meant to do something and it just comes out of them like so naturally? That's Jared. He just oozes film and he's passionate about it. And I thank God, because I think that sometimes we waste our time doing everything but what we're called to do because we're afraid of risk, because faith is about risk.
Right.
That you can't have faith and be safe. You have to step out.
That's right.
And do what God has called and told you to do, or else he'll select someone else. That's pretty much it. And it breaks his heart to do that, but he's endowed us with certain gifts. And like I said, with Jared and I, it was just a fit. It was just, it fit together. So.
Well, I think one of the reasons I'm so impressed with him is, first of all, I see a lot of myself in him. I was not a college kind of guy.
Awesome.
I was like, nope, that ain't going to work for me. So I actually started working in a TV station when I was like 18, volunteering at first, but, whatever I needed to do. So I totally get him. And I've been so impressed with him because he definitely is a great filmmaker. In fact, the 3 films that you have done, I carry it on our platform, Parables. So I loved them from the minute I saw them, and then you're doing something else now though, and you know what? I was gonna just do 2 segments with you because I've got something that I want to start doing on a 3rd segment, but forget that. I need to talk to you some more. So we're gonna take a quick break right now, and don't go away, all right? Because we're gonna come back with more. Just hold on there, Cindy. I want to talk to you some more, folks. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Only one university in the nation was chosen to demonstrate at the World Equestrian Games, and it's the only Christian university in the South offering an equine management major. Only one university produced the video leading into coverage for the Games, and it's the only university with students hired as part of a broadcast crew for 9 Olympic Games. One university, equipping students for a lifetime of leadership and service. Asbury University. Start here, impact the world.
Cell reproduction, more than duplication. It's careful selection and organization, ensuring the perfect balance for development and growth. Powerful, so is our programming. Parables, the leader in empowering entertainment. Parables. Be empowered. Start your free trial today.
Welcome back to Face on Film. So excited to go for a 3rd segment with my guest because I tell you, 2 segments just was not enough for her. Cindy, you guys are doing something together that's very interesting. I've never seen anybody do this. And it's great for actors, by the way. Can you share a little bit about what that is?
Sure. Coming off of our 3rd film, we weren't sure what to do, what direction to go into. And so Jared started doing editing clips for actors in the area to submit to talent managers and casting agents. So he came to me with this idea about doing real scenes for actors in the area. And he said, well, Mom, this would be great to give them, quality scenes that they could submit to their talent managers and their casting agents. And I thought, well, that is interesting, but I don't write short films or scenes. So he said, well, yeah, you can do it. And he's always been such a positive force in the business. And so we started writing these little short films, these scenes. And the way we came at it is we wanted to write the project, the piece, as if it was a scene out of a movie, that it was a full feature film, but we took one scene out of the movie and we presented to the actor to do. And that was our mindset going into it. Everything was going to be pristine. The quality was going to be like a movie. It was going to have great sound. Yep. It was going to have hopefully great writing, great shooting, great shots, which Jared does so wonderfully. Yep. And blocking. We didn't want the actors to just sit in a chair opposite each other, just saying their lines. We wanted this to be a full out scene. Yeah. And that's the way we started shooting it.
I've seen these and they are a film. They're just like if you took a major, motion picture and just cut out a scene that they were in. It's amazing. The thing is, and I don't want to say how much you spend on, or I should say how much you charge for these, because at some point you're going to have to go up more than that, I think. But I think what you're doing is great for actors. Yeah. But I will say that I've gotten pants for more money than that. But I'll let you guys, negotiate what you're doing with them. But if there's an actor out there that wants to do one of these scenes, where would they go? How do they reach you guys?
Well, they can go to our website, which is www.actorsreeltoreel.com. And then we have all our prices on there. We have the options, which usually we present to the actor. It's either a UCast option or a WeCast. UCast is they bring their own actor, someone that they know, a scene partner to do the scene with, which saves the actor quite a bit of money because they can split the expense, and it's less money anyway. And then the WeCast is we select an actor that we know that we have worked with and that's done really great work in the area to do the scene with them. So yeah. And we pay that actor, by the way. We do pay that actor.
Wow. Well, I got to tell you, I'm very impressed with what you guys are doing, and I hope actors start to call you from all over the place, reach out to you so they can get some done. But I got to tell you, I don't know how you guys would make a living out of this because it's just unbelievable what you're doing, and I can tell that it's because you're passionate about what they're doing about these actors. So now I asked Jared a question, and that I'm going to ask you the same question and see how you answer it. How is it working with your son?
It is amazing because we have such a great relationship. I mean, since he was a little kid, we used to go to the movies together. That was my movie buddy, and we both love film. So we have that in common. Jared's strengths are my weaknesses, and I believe my strengths are his. So we put two heads together. We have certain agreements on set, I should say. If we say if we don't need it, and we're not sure, we'll shoot it anyway. The other rule is if we can't agree, we do it both ways. And so we had to do that over the years because we did have our disagreements over time. And what we always want to make sure we have is a great, peaceful, jovial environment for the actors to create with and collaborate with. So that's very important to us.
Wow, that's weird.
And so we just don't have any ego about it. We just work together and we get it done.
That's weird because he said he hated it. No, he did not. No, it's amazing what you guys are doing. And I understand it. My daughter has worked with me for a long time also. And it's wonderful to have your kids work with you. The other ones don't want anything to do with filmmaking, so oh well. No, listen, it's great talking to you. I look forward to seeing you again in person one of these days in another one of the festivals. That's where I met you, at a film festival. And keep doing what you're doing. I can't wait for your next full feature film because I would love to carry it on Parables as well. So thank you so much for joining us today, all right?
All right. Thank you, Isaac. You guys have a great day.
Thank you. Folks, don't go away. We'll be right back.
Sunflowers. To pollinate and reproduce, they turn and face the sun. Nature's way of reminding us that for ultimate growth, we must seek the light. Parables. The leader in empowering entertainment. Parables. Be empowered. Start your free trial today.
I wonder if penguins have knees. I wonder how many colors we can't see. I wonder why there's so many stars in the universe. I wonder if we ever looked like apes.
You want to find out?
I wonder if puppies have belly buttons.
Welcome back to Faith on Film. Now, before I say goodbye today, I want to talk to you a little bit about an organization that I have been a part of for several years. That's the International Christian Visual Media. Now, if you are involved at all in any sort of Christian media, whether it be movies or television, whether you're a director, producer, screenwriter, actor, this is an organization that I think you would be very interested in. So take a look at this clip.
The one thing that I've noticed at ICVM is that everyone here is completely surrendered to the Lord.
Something that stood out to me this week definitely was to not give up, to persevere.
That's probably my highlight, is just hanging out with friends. I really look forward to it.
Eventually, the friends that you make here become family. It's a whole community.
This is the conference that I feel has ordained us into this work. This group of people care about what you're doing, and we pray for each other, and we support each other, and I hope we can remember that 365 days a year.
If you've been here and you had a great conference, that you would just go home inspired and realize that we're all a part of this community. God has called us to do this. Be encouraged and go out and pursue after God in whatever your art is.
Well, that's all the time I have today. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Faith on Film TV. That's at Faith on Film TV. Until next week, take care.